The Batman Arkham franchise is one of the best in gaming history. Its legendary storytelling, mythic combat system, memorable characters, fucking awesome trailers, and incredible atmosphere make this game something special and definitely a go-to if you love gaming and or superheroes. So I decided to replay Batman Arkham City and Arkham Knight to compare their story, combat, atmosphere, traversal, and open world, and determine which one is the best game and the most complete Batman experience. So buckle up, because this is which Batman Arkham game is truly the best one. I decided not to include Arkham Asylum and Arkham Origins because even though they are great games and I had a lot of fun with them, this video will focus on the ones that perfected the franchise. But before getting into it, I think Arkham Asylum deserves a quick mention. It laid the foundations for everything, and without it, we wouldn't have the legendary trilogy we have today. One of the main attractives of the franchise is the combat and the stealth. These mechanics have defined the personality of these games thanks to its fun factor, detailed and complex system that really makes you feel like the Dark Knight. Arkham City improved both the combat and stealth systems from Arkham Asylum. What was a fun but rather simple mechanic in Asylum was fully developed in City, adding new tools like the remote electrical charge and the freeze blast grenade. These gadgets combined with the batarang and the grappling hook open a whole world of possibilities. They give you more freedom to approach encounters in different ways, and the button combinations are accessible enough that when you pull them off, you actually feel that sense of accomplishment. In Asylum we had like 2 finishers, but here we get a whole lot more. They're cooler, more intuitive, and the animations are just fucking awesome. When it comes to stealth, it's also a clear improvement over Arkham Asylum. Movement feels more fluid, and now you have more tools and strategies to approach every situation. For example, you can use a firearm jammer to disable weapons and take control of the encounter your own way. But with more gadgets also come smarter enemies. They set traps, use better technology, and force you to adapt. Now the enemies can jam your detective mode. You have mines scattered all over the floor, and the enemies can spot you while you're on gargoyles. So clearing a room isn't as simple as it used to be. Take the Mr. Freeze boss fight for example, one of the greatest boss fights in gaming history. In this fight, you have to adapt and plan your strategy, because once you use a move or a gadget to attack him by surprise, you can't use it again. So you're forced to exploit your moves, the environment, and your entire arsenal. This boss fight truly shows how incredible the combat and stealth systems really are in these games. And since we're talking boss fights, I have to say that Arkham City has way better ones. They're more unique, creative, and entertaining. I really liked all of them in this game. Arkham Knight didn't quite succeed in that regard and relied too much on the Batmobile, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Going back to the stealth, all of this makes stealth deeper and way more engaging. It's no longer just take down and hide. Now you have to think, use your gadgets wisely, avoid enemy tech, and plan every move carefully. And that's what makes it such a complete and satisfying stealth system. If we speak about Arkham Knight, everything is the same, just a whole lot better. More gadgets, more moves, more animations, more possibilities, and you feel way cooler playing as Batman. In this game, this boy is an aura former. It's basically the same system, but perfected in every way. Everything's smoother, more responsive, and there are more ways to defeat enemies, more finishers, and I absolutely love the sections where you play as 2 characters, whether it's Catwoman, Nightwing, or Robin. The dual takedowns are amazing too and give the game a lot of variety. The stealth is better too. There are more gadgets and more ways to approach encounters. But now, the enemies are way smarter and have more tech at their disposal, which we also have to counter by planning our strategies beforehand. And man, I adore the Fear multi-takedown. It's so freaking cool, makes perfect sense gameplay wise and gives both the combat and stealth system a refreshing addition. And of course, we can't ignore the Batmobile in the room. If I'm being honest, I don't mind the Batmobile in this game. I actually think it's a pretty good mechanic, a well polished idea. The handling in combat mode is decent, it's satisfying to learn and master, and it actually makes sense in the context of the story. But the problem with this boy is how much we use it. And I'm not just talking about the quantity, well, maybe a little, but I'm talking about the quality. I mean, yeah, the handling is cool and all, but why the fuck am I fighting the Arkham Knight, one of the most interesting characters in the franchise and an actual equivalent to Batman in terms of skill and capabilities, in a fucking car? And while we're at it, why the fuck am I fighting Deathstroke, another Batman level opponent with an insane potential for a hand-to-hand fight, on a fucking car too? The first time I saw Deathstroke appear in game, I turned into an excited little girl, expecting an epic boss fight like the one in Arkham Origins. And we got this. So my point is, I like the Batmobile, but the amount of time we use it, and especially the moments we use it, didn't quite work for me. One thing I did like in both games, but especially in Arkham Knight, is the glide kicks through the windows. I got this awesome clip while recording footage for the video and thought it was so cool, but I immediately assumed it was scripted because of the lighting in the background, kind of referencing the comics. So I tried it again and realized that the lightning strike at that exact moment isn't scripted at all. That made the first clip so much more special and made me appreciate the atmosphere even more. So yeah, this one's tough. On one hand, Arkham City has a less complete system, but executes it in great scenarios with memorable boss fights, and on the other hand, Arkham Knight has a full package, more tools, more mechanics, a more polished experience overall, but it doesn't fully capitalize on it. But since we're talking about the mechanics alone and not their execution, I have to give the point to Arkham Knight. But not by much, because City's mechanics are pretty damn good too. We all know that the best atmosphere in the franchise is Arkham Asylum by far. But speaking of Arkham City and Arkham Knight, I genuinely think that they both have great atmospheres. The thing is that they're quite different because they're set in different locations. Arkham Knight feels a bit more modern and shiny, since you're literally in Gotham, while Arkham City is darker and much more sober. I love them both. They're unique and they manage to differentiate themselves from one another, which is very important in sequels. I played these games when they came out and I was just a little kid. And although Arkham Knight has a great atmosphere, I will never forget the feeling of hopelessness in Arkham City. The place is bleak and completely drained of hope, and the interiors of locations like the Steel Mill, the sewers, and Wonder City are iconic. They transmit this weird, eerie vibe of fear, loneliness, and mystery that makes you feel tense. The level design, the lighting, and most definitely the sound design contribute perfectly to this atmosphere. Watch this short clip of the Steel Mill, for example. The lights going on and off, the claustrophobic feeling, the fact that you're completely alone, and the incredible background noise. It actually makes me uncomfortable while navigating these halls. And I love it. Like I said, I do like the atmosphere in Arkham Knight, and it fits perfectly with the tone of the game, but it just doesn't feel quite as unique or special as the one in Arkham City. So, the best atmosphere goes to Arkham City. That means we're tied so far, with 3 points remaining. So buckle up, because the next point is the story, and it might spark a little controversy. What's up, man? If you're enjoying the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers and your support means a lot to me. It really motivates me to keep creating content for you guys. And don't forget to leave a like and tell me in the comments which game is your favorite. Now we are at one of the most controversial points. The story of these games. The thing is that both of them deliver an unbelievably outstanding narrative. So let's quickly go through each one to later analyze them in depth. Arkham City begins with Bruce Wayne being captured by Hugo Strange, only to reveal moments later that he knows he's Batman and he's now inside Arkham City, a jail the size of a city.
Very poor choice of words.
Where all of Gotham's criminals have been locked up for an unknown reason. Hugo Strange is playing Protocol 10, which we also don't know what it is yet, but it's important. So don't forget it. In the middle of this, we find out that Joker is dying because of the Titan he injected himself back in the asylum. So he comes up with this elaborate plan to lure Batman into his hideout and infect him with his own blood, while also infecting a lot of people in Gotham. This to make sure that Batman finds a cure for all of them. While trying to figure out how to create the cure, Batman encounters mythic villains like Two-Face, the Penguin, and Mr. Freeze. Freeze actually helps us make the cure, so we have to go find Ra's al Ghul to drink this thing that buys us a little time and to get a sample of his blood to make the cure, because now Batman is dying too. Here, we also meet Talia, Ra's daughter, and we discover that she and Batman had some kind of complicated romance in the past. We defeat Ra's and meet with Freeze once again, but he gets annoying, so we fight him, but during the fight, the cure gets stolen by the Joker. So we pay him a visit. This time we find out that he's actually doing pretty well. We end up stuck under some rubble. Talia negotiates with the Joker to spare Batman, and then we go after Hugo Strange. We finally discover that Protocol 10 is basically a plan to kill every criminal in Arkham City, and that Hugo Strange was just a puppet. The real mastermind was Ra's al Ghul all along. A pretty solid plot twist. Everything explodes in a massive cutscene. Ra's apparently dies, which he definitely did not. And once that's out of the way, we go after the Joker for the cure. And for Talia, because now she's been held hostage. And then comes plot twist number 2. Joker was actually never cured, because the cure Freeze made wasn't ready, and the healthy Joker was Clayface all along. The Joker kills Talia, very dramatic. We fight Clayface with a sword, very cool. We win, and we have one last talk with the Joker, but he gets all aggressive, attacks Batman, destroys the cure in the process, and that results in Joker's death. Pretty unexpected and honestly shocking. Arkham Knight takes place 9 months later. It starts with Scarecrow's threat of releasing a new fear toxin across Gotham. The city gets evacuated, leaving only criminals and the GCPD. But this time, there's something new. The Arkham Knight, a mysterious military leader with a personal vendetta against Batman, who somehow knows everything about him. Batman spends the first part of the game working with Oracle to track Scarecrow down, until Oracle gets kidnapped, which hits Bruce on a personal level. While trying to find her, Batman starts getting hallucination of the Joker in his head. This is thanks to Joker's blood in his body from Arkham City's story. So now the Titan isn't killing him, it's turning him slowly into the Joker. At one point, we witness Oracle die right in front of Batman. At least, that's what Scarecrow wants him to believe. This moment completely breaks him and creates heavy tension with both Gordon and Robin. This is where the story hits hard, not because of the villains, but because Batman begins to lose the people closest to him, and this time, it's his fault. Eventually, Batman discovers that the Arkham Knight is Jason Todd, a former Robin who Batman thought was dead. In reality, the Joker had captured and tortured him for over a year, breaking his mind and turning him against the Batman.
Have you got something to tell the nice man, Jason?
My name is Jason Todd.
Who do you hate?
Batman.
Excellent. Of course you do.
Gordon is captured by Scarecrow and uses him to trap Batman. We then discover that Oracle was never actually dead, but now both Gordon and Robin are hostages of him. Scarecrow unmasks Batman live on TV. The entire world finds out that he's Bruce Wayne. Scarecrow finally hits Batman with his strongest toxin, trying to break his mind once and for all. But Batman overcomes the Joker inside his head, locks him away for good, and regains control. Jason returns to help, proving that deep down, he still cares. With that victory, Batman decides to activate the Nightfall Protocol, a self-destruct plan for Wayne Manor that symbolically kills the Batman to protect those around him. So that's both stories. Arkham City is a flawless execution of a Batman tale. It has great pacing, a solid variety of characters, interesting subplots, and elements that constantly keep the player invested. It also delivers strong plot twists that truly elevate the experience. The game is pretty straightforward, with well-crafted action sequences and several aspects that create a real sense of urgency, like the Protocol 10 countdown, and of course, the fact that Batman is dying. The twists are excellent, and the finale is easily one of the best moments in Batman's history. It hits different, and the fact that it's teased at the very beginning makes it even better. A really solid story, great pacing, villains integrated perfectly into the narrative, excellent twists, and a shocking but incredible ending. Arkham Knight's story is also pretty great. The setup makes sense, Scarecrow works as a solid antagonist, and the game features very dramatic moments with deeper character writing. Gordon and Oracle have more development, and the Arkham Knight is one of my favorite characters in the franchise. I would have loved to see him fully use his knowledge of Batman for something more impactful. His origin story is amazing, and his redemption is kind of solid. What truly stands out though is the writing for Batman.
Scarecrow was punishing me. He killed her.
No. Oh, my. Well, sir, we need to focus. The people of Gotham need you.
I should have protected her, Alfred. She's dead because of me.
It has depth, it's well structured, and you can genuinely see his decay, evolution, and ultimate outcome by the end.
I've won.
I'm not afraid, Crane.
I absolutely love the gameplay segments where the Joker appears out of nowhere, talks to Batman, disappears in a perfect transition, and then suddenly shows up somewhere else in the environment. You actually feel this interaction between them. Something I really liked about this game is the fact that we actually get to be detectives. We had some of this in Arkham City, but here it's taken to another level. The crime scene reconstructions, the investigations, the body analysis, I absolutely loved it because it adds a lot to the gameplay into the Batman experience. I love both stories. They're unique, profound, engaging, and truly memorable. But even though Arkham Knight has a stronger character writing and development, and is honestly a masterpiece in storytelling, Arkham City feels like a more rounded experience. It's more concise, full of variety, great plot twists, memorable characters, dramatic moments, real consequences, and a more powerful ending. It's not that Arkham Knight fails in these aspects, it just doesn't hit quite as hard as City does. So this point goes to Arkham City. Let's be honest guys, Arkham City's traversal is not great. This game has many incredible things, but the traversal is not one of them. I mean, it works, and it's not that bad because the map isn't that big, but it's one of my least favorite aspects of this game. It feels slow and the boost in the corners is not that big. On the other hand, Arkham Knight completely turned the table. It upgraded absolutely everything and gave Batman the ultimate traversal. It's faster, more fluid, and actually enjoyable. And of course, the views in this game are something else, which adds a lot to the experience. As a quick side note, this game is one of the best looking titles I've ever played. It holds up perfectly, even better than some more recent games. Also, despite the problems I have with the Batmobile, it's still very useful and fun to drive around the city. It provides an alternative way to move through the map, and the driving is actually pretty decent. It might not be everyone's first choice, but it's okay. So this point is by far for Batman Arkham Knight. The open world in Arkham City is pretty good. It helps a lot that the atmosphere is on point. The world feels alive and you can hear the conversation of the criminals, which I've always loved in these games.
Old Gotham. There was some kind of fair, hundreds of years ago, maybe more. Something happened and bits were demolished. A new city was built on top of it.
You learn something every day, don't you?
The side missions are okay. They're not a big deal, but they're interesting. Some are repetitive, like Victor Sass and his phone calls, but others are pretty decent, like the Azrael one, the Deadshot one, the Civilian Rescues, and the Mad Hatter one, which is my personal favorite. Let's not even talk about the Riddler trophies. Overall, it's a pretty complete open world. Good atmosphere, decent side missions, and I don't know about you, maybe this is just me and my stupidity, but after all of these years playing this game, I still get lost in the map. I don't know if it's because everything looks very similar, but I find it confusing and I end up losing myself pretty often. There's a huge difference when it comes to Arkham Knight. We not only have a bigger map, but also more recognizable landmarks, which really helps with the orientation. The city is beautiful and there are criminals all over the place, having random conversations and bringing life into the world. The side missions are more easily recognizable. For example, the ones involving the dead bodies. As soon as you hear the opera music, you know a body is nearby. Or when you randomly encounter Man-Bat, it gives you that sense that things are actively happening in the city. Speaking of side missions, I genuinely love most of them. Some are simpler than others, but they're fun overall, engaging, and quite memorable. And most importantly, you actually want to do them. Not just for the completion percentage, but because they evoke genuine interest from the player. They're far more interesting than the ones in Arkham City. One thing worth highlighting is the fact that even though the Riddler trophies are still in this game, this time the character has his own side missions. They're creative, fun, and different from the rest. The puzzles are actually pretty cool, and the fact that you do them to rescue Catwoman makes this whole side mission, just like most of them, a pretty solid activity in terms of both story and gameplay. So, Batman Arkham Knight takes this point and wins this video 3-2, making it the best Batman game between these two. Even though Arkham Knight won this battle, I can't praise Arkham City enough. Between us, it's my personal favorite, but objectively, Arkham Knight offers a more balanced and complete experience overall. Still, it could have easily gone the other way or even ended in a tie, and it would have been totally fine because of how great these two games are. This franchise means a lot to me. These two games are among my all-time favorites because they made me love Batman even more than I already did. Thanks to their incredible writing, iconic characters, gameplay, atmosphere, and unique mechanics. These games are some of the most complete experiences in gaming. They have everything you'd want in a video game. I highly recommend you replaying them to relive these amazing experiences and appreciate them even more. And if you haven't played them yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. I had a great time making this video, and I hope you did too while watching it. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and leave in the comments your thoughts on these games, your personal favorite, and if you disagree on something, let me know too. I read all of your comments and respond to most of them, so let's have a chat down there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
I am vengeance.
I am the Knight.
I am Batman.